Do not let your ex ruin your healing when you're trying to move on. How do you ask? Do not let them come back into your life in a time where you're still trying to go through your grieving of the ending of that relationship. It is one of the worst things you can do for yourself and ultimately for them, or even your relationship at whatever it stands now as just acquaintances or what have you going forward. Now, 9 out of 10 chances you won't even want to be acquaintances with your ex, usually when you're trying to move on, right? But it happens. It's okay to have that. You don't have to end a relationship with someone and never see them again in life, right? That's actually the unhealthy way of things. You should be able to be two individuals that decides it didn't work out and move on and still, at least if nothing else, be pleasant towards each other, even if you don't feel like you can be friends with them going forward. But when you're still in a fragile space of healing, one of the worst things you can do is let your ex come back into your life whenever they try to come make that loop around the block and they try to come back to you because maybe they feel like they've realized they've lost it all, or they made a big mistake, or their emotions are getting the better of them and they're feeling like, oh no, I need to go back and get my person back and all that. Now, I'm not saying it is not possible to rekindle a relationship. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying people haven't broken up and then found their way back to each other. You can do that. But if that's going to happen, if it were to be a thing to happen, it needs to happen in a healthy way so it has a chance at it being successful that second time around and not being something that will actually just create another circumstance of repeating the same experience to where you go through the pain all over again. Now, I'm rarely to never going to support going back to your ex anyways, because usually that relationship didn't work for a reason. And it is very rare that both parties have done the work they need to do to become these versions of themselves they required to be to make it work the next time around, and that you still even fit each other once you become these versions of yourselves. It's rare. But if there's going to be any chance that there being any healthy relational anything going on between you and them, you have to keep distance and boundaries between you and your ex for a period of time until you are at least not emotionally triggered and swayed by them any longer, to where all of your emotions, you own them and you're making decisions or speaking to them and taking actions with more vetted discernment and not out of your attachment system's need to try to hold on to your attachment figure that you're still emotionally bonded to. Because when your ex shows back up, and a lot of times people's exes will do this, right? Sometimes maybe your ex left you and they're like, I'm done, I'm moving on with my life, and they stick to that. Okay. But there is a lot of chances and a lot of times where the ex does come back. So when they come back and you don't have those boundaries in place, you're almost guaranteed to make decisions that you'll regret later because your emotions are leading you, not your discernment, not your awareness, not you moving with your intellectual properties mixed with your emotions with more emotional intelligence as to what they need instead of giving them the kind of craving they're desiring right now. And that causes you to put the love rose colored glasses back on. And you wind up entertaining them and the things they're saying because maybe they're saying all the right stuff, or they're telling you how much they feel like it was a mistake. And you're like, yeah, maybe it was. We can figure it out. And love is on 1,000 right now. And you guys are moving on just that love without doing it in the vetted, healthy way. So when you set and uphold the boundaries, it says, hey, I love that you're still wanting to work this out with me and want to get back together. That's what I kind of want in my heart too. But if we're going to have a chance at that at all, let's do it the right way. Let me get clear on my emotions first and, keep you out of my space for some time so I can make sure what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling is accurate, so I don't bring a broken version of myself back into this relationship where nothing changes and we get the same result. And it offers you the space to do the same thing. And if that person actually does love you or actually did love you, right, then they should be willing to do the same for themselves so they can make sure they're not coming to you from a triggered emotional space, which most likely is why they're coming back to you in the first place. So in a sense, you not allowing them to come back into your life to ruin your healing also allows and offers them the chance to not ruin their own healing by trying to come back to get you when they're not in a sound space to do so. And I guarantee you, if you stick to that rule and you set that boundary and let them know why, like I just described, and you say, hey, I just need my space to get clear on whether this is something I really would want or if it would make sense or work, right? If you do say that to them It's going to say everything back to you and let you know if they're really the person you would need them to be, that you should be going back to, or even trying to consider moving forward with them in the future with, on how they handle that type of a comment when you set that boundary. If they feel highly offended or upset, or they try to push harder to go past that boundary and not respect it, they're screaming to you they are not in the space of healing and peace they should be in to actually do this the right way the second time around. They're not ready yet. Maybe they never will be ready, but it'll give you so much clarity on whether they do that versus saying, you know what, I can respect that. And, honestly, thank you. If anything, that you're right. I probably should do the same thing in my regard. I should go and make sure I'm good so that we do this the right way if we're going to do it the second time around. That's the kind of response you want to hear from someone that loves you from the right space and isn't loving you out of a sense of their own voids that you were filling in for them. And this is also why boundaries are not just about you. When you set a boundary, you're setting it for you and for the other person, right? It serves you both. And sometimes your ex partner, whomever, is not in the best position of mental growth or emotional growth to be able to respect and honor a boundary that is for both of your betterment. So that's why it's important that you must set the boundary and honor it and stand on it on your own, because they may not be in a growth position to do so. And that's what it truly means to do what's most serving for you and for the other person. There's never something in life that truly serves you, meaning it's helpful for you, positive to you, loving, feeds your spirit, and builds you up, that you can say it does all five, which means it is serving to you. Once you check off all five, that does not serve the other person. It just doesn't exist, right? So if setting that boundary serves you to protect your healing, it serves them. Stand 10 toes down on that. If you need help healing to move on from your ex, so you don't go back and sabotage yourself or them for that matter, and learning how to build a healthy relationship the right way, either email or DM me coaching, and we will get to work as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, aren't in the space to, or don't have the time, then at least join my Relationship Revival Hub community, to where you can take my relationship renewal course and learn at your own pace on your own time to get those same results that I help my one-on-one clients get. If you want to join that, just email or DM me the word revival, and I will go and get you the link to join the community. Either way, do something, get the result. Let's get it.